Blog Talk Radio.
Coming at you live from somewhere deep, dark inside the cave that we call UMOR. You're listening to Uncensored MMA Online Radio, this 12th day of November, 2012. Well, good evening, fight fans and fight freaks and whoever the hell else is listening tonight. Thank you for tuning in to this train wreck that we call Uncensored MMA Online Radio. I'm your host, Big Perm, and joining me as always is my co-host, Dave the Butcher Clifford. Dave, how the hell are you, brother?
I am doing great. I just got done with a nice little piece of Blue Dream, and I am prepared, ready, and just happier than hell to be here inside my Chevrolet Cruze talking to you tonight. Who are we brought to you by tonight, Big Perm?
Well, tonight, I tell you what, Dave, each and every week this show is brought to you by Tri-County Cab of Peoria, Illinois. They are Central Illinois' finest cab company. And speaking of Tri-County Cab,
need a lift? Call Tri-County Cab, 497-1111. Get fast response time and low rates, 497-1111. Call for daily pickup to work or for an after-party ride home. Or let us be your designated driver for an evening of safe celebration. Tri-County Cab, trustworthy, clean, safe, and insured. Tri-County Cab, 497-1111. The only cab service you'll ever need.
Taxi!
Nice.
Every week, yes, each and every week, Fred and Mike over there at Tri-County Cab, they make this show possible. I want to give a big shout-out and thanks to those guys. Also, Chris Maltzberger of Blue Blood MMA, thank you so much, brother, for hooking us up with such exciting guests. And, Dave, we're not going to screw around and waste too much time tonight. We got a pretty exciting show lined up. We got a bunch of guests to get to and talk with. Coming up first here in just a few minutes, we're going to be talking with Matt Riddle. We'll be talking with him about his upcoming fight at UFC 154 coming up on November 17th. He'll be taking on John McGuire. Then after that, we'll be talking with James McSweeney. A lot of you guys might remember him from The Ultimate Fighter and his time in the UFC. We'll talk to him about that, about his kickboxing career and see what the hell he's got going on nowadays. Then also joining the show, going to be fighter out of Washington, a gentleman by the name of Jeff Hatton. We'll catch up with him and see what he's got cooking. And last but not least, we'll also be talking with Chuck. And Chuck, I hope I'm saying your last name right, brother. It's Chuck Peretz. He won the 145-pound title at Titan Tournament of Champions 2 this past Saturday. So, Dave,
nice.
We got an awesome lineup put together, man. Are you ready for this damn thing?
Oh, I tell you what, I really am. And a couple other things I'm ready for, and something I'm real excited about. I mean, well, we got a couple of minutes. You and Chris, the producer, and my co-host, Big Perm, coming to Michigan December 1st and November 30th. So the first, I guess we're going to go to this Bellator 82. We're going to be chilling. We're in the house.
Yeah, brother, man. November 30th, up there was, I believe it's in Mount Pleasant, Michigan.
Yep, the Soaring Eagle Casino.
Yeah, the Soaring Eagle Casino, that's it. For Bellator 82, we're going to go up there and check out the fights. Hopefully bring you guys some exclusive interviews and catch up with the winners and just kind of see what it's like. It'll be my first time at a Bellator event, and I'm really excited about that. And then afterwards, we're going to be sticking around Michigan and going to Big John's MMA event on December 1st. I get a chance to watch last week's guest, David Shepard, throw down. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, he's fighting Ultimate Fighter veteran Jason Showstopper Brenton. Both those guys got impressive records, and that's going to be an amazing main event. Pro-Am card right there. And you're going to be sitting cage side judging the fight?
I am, brother, man. It's going to be an exciting time. I'm such a fan of MMA, and I can't wait to be sitting cage side, with this great, awesome, stacked card. And getting to judge the fights. And, what I'm hoping for are just a bunch of knockouts and a bunch of submissions. So if things do go to decision, nobody comes looking at me afterwards.
It's the out-of-towner.
Hey, it's the out-of-towner. Get him.
Now, Skeeter, he ain't hurting nobody.
Nope, I ain't hurting nobody, not at all.
I'm just excited to have you guys come in town. You know, I got to go kick it with Chris, and I I didn't know you then, but you were there. You know, when I went to Iowa in spring of this current year that we're in still, and you're just really looking forward to having you guys. We're gonna we're just follow your nose, and you'll see where I'm at.
Absolutely, man. Well, listen, without further delay, it's about 5 minutes after the hour. I was looking for something here. Where did it go? There it is. Before I get to this, I wanted to give a shout-out to Pat Wilson. It's his birthday today. I wanted to say happy birthday to you, Pat, and also thank you for hooking us up with Matt Riddle and James McSweeney tonight. I really look forward to talking to those guys. So, again, Pat Wilson, happy birthday to you, brother, and thank you again.
Yeah, thank you. Friend of the show right there.
Absolutely. But as we get moving on down the road here, one last thing. Pat Wilson, I did want to give a shout-out also. It's Big Fight Management. I can't forget that. The guys at Big Fight Management, Pat Wilson, and everybody involved, thank you so much to you guys. And again, Pat, happy birthday, man. But as we get moving down the road, I'm going to pull up my dial pad, and we're going to just get right into it and call up our first guest tonight. We're going to be talking with Matt Deepwater Riddle, and we're going to see what he's got going on. And I'll talk to him about a few different things tonight. You hit dial. Move this thing down here and kill the music. Oh, yeah. And as that phone rings, Matt's going to be taking on John McGuire here November 17th at UFC 154.
Hello.
Good evening, Deep Waters. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh man, I am fired up. I'm a happy camper, man.
That's good to hear.
Absolutely, dude. And it's always a blast to talk to you. You got such a great personality, and you're fun to talk to. You're on with Big Perm, of course. That's me and my co-host Dave the Butcher Clifford. Dave, you there, bro?
Absolutely. Welcome back to the show, man. It's good to have you.
It's always a pleasure, guys. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
So where are we catching you at tonight?
Well, I'm at my house. I just finished up packing all my stuff, and I just been super busy cutting weight and taking drug tests and passing them and doing what I got to do so I can keep fighting.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
I saw that picture earlier today. I was like, nah, they didn't, and I was like, you had to know it was coming.
Yeah.
So,
not only that, when I posted that picture, I got reprimanded.
I noticed it was gone. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, we won't talk about it. What picture?
Yep.
Exactly.
I see nothing. Sorry, I shared it.
You're getting ready to head to Montreal at UFC 154. You're taking on John McGuire. And I know here in the last few weeks your opponent has changed a couple of times. Just give us your thoughts on McGuire and what you expect coming up here on the 17th.
To be honest, I know John McGuire. He's got pretty good jits. I've seen him sub a lot of people, not just in fights, but also in grappling matches. And his top game is really impressive. He has decent takedowns, but I'm a Division I wrestler from college. I won states and nationals. And my jiu-jitsu isn't bad. I've beaten the likes of Ryan Hall and countless other Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belts over the years before I even got to the UFC. So I'm pretty excited. I think it's a great matchup for me. I think I can stuff his shot and then just knock him out, probably. I know he has a chin, but we all got chins, so I'm just going to try knocking it off probably in the second round.
Well, and if jiu-jitsu is involved at all, judging by your last performance at 149, the way you submitted Clements, I don't think it's going to be a problem for you at all, brother. I mean, that was a beautiful victory that you had, even though they call it a no contest, but whatever.
If you ask me, I'm 7-3. I don't care. I'm not 6-3-1. I'm 7-3. Look it up. It's what it is.
Well, that's the way it should be, man. And you've been a real stand-up guy through this. Me and Perm were talking before we got online here, and we want to commend the fact that you've just completely accepted everything properly. You've never come out and and you didn't go to rehab, you know. And
I didn't take the Dave Herman route. I manned up. I was like, I have a license, and I still believe, you know, the commission and the UFC. I think they still have a problem with me having a medical marijuana license and me using my medicine. But you know, I told them straight up, it's like I got it from a doctor. It's the only thing that works for me, and you can't stop me from using. And like I said, I never failed a drug test before. It's the very first time. It'll never happen again. I just won't take a fight on a week's notice. You know, that's what it was.
Yeah, totally, because it takes 30 days, and you know, it's just kind of a goofy thing that they've, you know, it's always been a problem with monitoring, you know, this particular, which they shouldn't even bother doing anyway. I mean,
yeah,
look at,
it's not like
know,
it's not like I'm using and I get superhuman strength and I don't get tired and it adds oxygen to my blood cells or anything. It doesn't. You know, if anything, everybody else I see you, they're sleeping on the side of the mat. You know, they're not doing what I do. So it's whatever. You know, until, you know, 2 states have already legalized it and 2 other states legal medical reasons, Arkansas and Massachusetts. So bottom line is they can keep doing what they're doing and saying what they want to say, but eventually we're going to take over, and that's what it is.
That's right. I got a card, and I'm smoking right now, my man. Right now.
I am jealous because even though I got drug tested earlier today, I'm not taking the chance with the Montreal Commission.
No, and that's what we do. That's one of the things that we're proving to the world is that it's something that can be used responsibly. Hell, if they consider alcohol use responsible, we're freaking scholars.
And that's how I look at it. You know, when's the last time somebody smoked a joint and cheated on their wife and was like, oh, I was so high, I just cheated on you, I didn't know what I was doing. That shit doesn't happen when you're high. When you drink a fifth of vodka or a fifth of whiskey, that's when you're like, what happened last night? And you wake up next to her like a prostitute. That's what it is. You know, I'm not saying it wouldn't be a good time, but that's what it is.
And if I was smoking weed, I'd be scared that the prostitute was a cop, and I wouldn't go.
Exactly. You're like, that paranoia kicks in, and you're good to go. You got that self-defense mechanism.
Yeah, man. Go ahead, Perm. I don't mean to. Go ahead, Perm.
Oh, no, it's all good. The only comment I really had on the suspension and the dirty drug test and all that was just how you manned up and how you accepted the responsibility for it. You know, you apologized to the UFC. You know, you didn't try and run and hide from it, and I think that's the thing I respect the most about you. And I don't really think it's going to be much more of a problem, you know, going forward. And that's just my opinion on that. I just really
you're my second favorite fighter in the whole world. You're my second favorite fighter, my man. Seriously.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate it.
Nick Diaz is number 1, so don't feel bad.
No, I don't. Nick Diaz is my favorite fighter, so it's what it is.
Hell yeah, man.
Hey, switching gears really quick. Just the main event on that card that you're going to, it's got GSP up against Condit. You got any thoughts on that fight?
You know, I do. I personally, if GSP is 100% and he can do his lay and pray special, I think it's going to be a unanimous decision, you know. But Condit's been looking dangerous lately, just clipping people on their chins. And the thing is, Nick Diaz has a chin. I personally think Nick Diaz won that fight. But I don't think GSP can take the kind of punishment Condit can dish. Then again, I don't think Condit has the takedown defense to stop GSP from taking him down and laying on him. So
it all comes down.
Talking about, you know, if Condit can stuff that takedown, you know, he's got a chance, I think. But it's just a big if and a question. You know,
I'll be honest, man. This wrestling, because he takes down guys like he can stop Jake Shields' shot with ease. He can stop Tosh Check's shot, and he takes down like All-American. So I don't know what the guy's doing or where he's training or whatever, but dude's on point with his wrestling and his timing. So, you know, my hat's off to him.
So you think we're going to see another episode of the Giant Sleeping Pill?
Well, the thing is, I do and I don't. The thing is, he's coming off ACL surgery. He's got to be rusty. And Condit's been in action. You know, he's fought that 5-round war with Diaz. He knocked out Dan Hardy. And he's just been on a roll. He's been hurting people lately. And, like, he's very well deserving of this title shot. So,
not to mention, he's got a great coach.
Yeah, he does. You know, he's got great coaching. And and Condit's a game. trained with him when he was out in Arizona Combat Sports when it was like me, CB Bader, Varner, and a bunch of us. And I'll be honest, Condit's one of those guys you can never sleep on, dude. He'll knee you right in the face in practice. He's a savage. You know, so I personally, you know, I would like to see Condit beat GSP, get the title, and really mix up the welterweight division. Maybe send GSP back a little so, you know, guys like me and other people get a shot at him. So,
certainly.
Yeah.
That's a good call. I like that, man. That's insight.
Another topic that I had.
Yeah. What's that?
Another topic I had for discussion. Kind of something I was hesitant to bring up, but I'm going to bring it up. The Kevin Randleman beef. You know, when we talked with you and set up this interview, you know, my producer Chris kind of briefly discussed it with you, and I'm sure you know everybody's by now seen that YouTube video of Randleman just kind of hulking out. And when we set up the interview with you, you know, we asked if you'd be cool to talk with Kevin, you know, on the show with us, and you were gracious enough to accept. And I know you pretty much just want to squash this beef. And we did manage to get a.
Go ahead. Sorry.
You go ahead.
We managed to get a hold of Kevin, but you go ahead.
Yeah,
I just want to squash it. Honestly, I really don't know where he's coming from. I've talked to the people that hired him on, and I talked to everybody else. Everybody got paid what they're supposed to get paid. So I would like to, you know, I've heard Randleman, he said, I know what I did or something like that, but sincerely, I do not know what I did, and I never said one bad thing to him. You guys have talked to me before. I'm not that kind of guy, so.
For sure, man.
Yeah, and that's why when I saw the video, I was like, man, what's going on here? And then I also talked to my producer, and when we heard that he got a hold of, I don't know if did he tell you what happened when he got a hold of Randleman, Jeremy?
Yeah, you know, it was Kevin had a.
What? Huh?
What was that, Matt?
I got a little description of what happened when you contacted him.
All right, cool.
Yeah, because I was
sure everybody was on the same page.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Are you?
Well, when Chris finally got a hold of Kevin, you know, Kevin was a little reluctant to come on the line, but in the end, he said, you know, give me a call. If he answers, he'll talk with us. If he don't, he won't. But
cool.
You know, hey, we're gonna if you're down with it, Matt, we're gonna give Kevin a call and see if he answers his phone and see if we can just put an end to this thing, man, and be done with it.
Please, I would love that. I would love to finally get to talk to him.
Well,
let's try it.
I'm punching in the last four numbers, and we should
No
get
way.
a phone in.
Holy shit.
All right. Come on, phone ring. There it is. All right, Matt, hang tight. Let's see what happens. Hey, good evening, Kevin.
Yeah.
Hi, Kevin.
Yes. What's up?
Hey, this is Big Perm with Uncensored MMA Online Radio. How are you tonight?
Did you say Big Perm?
Yes, sir. Just like from the Friday movie.
Big Perm.
That's right, brother. You're on live with me and my co-host, Dave the Butcher Clifford, and we also have Matt Riddle on the line with us.
What's up,
Earlier
Kevin?
today, you talked with my producer, Chris. We'll let you know that we might be calling, and we just wanted to, you know, kind of bring you guys both on the line and hopefully kind of squash this misunderstanding that, you know, it seems to have risen between the two of you.
I don't need you to squash shit for me. I don't need you to squash shit for me. I already put this on Twitter. I said I hope he has a great career and everything else like that, and only to get 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks after that, somebody sent me a tweet saying, Riddle, you know, and I got to see this, and if I drop down to middleweight, that he would kick my ass.
Now, I'll be honest, Kevin. I never once said I would want to fight you ever. You're the former world heavyweight champion. Straight up, you can get that's straight up honesty right there.
I'm an over the hill gangster. Okay, Matt, let's just be honest. I'm an over the hill gangster. Let's just let's cut to the point. You and I both know why I got upset. So how about you tell everyone what the real is?
Well,
tell everyone how this started.
It all started, you came to my show, Pure MMA 2, in Pennsylvania. I believe Brian Slater contacted you. Am I correct so far?
No, Brian Slater did not contact me.
Did Jay Pellegrino?
Jay Pellegrino called me. Yeah, he contacted me.
So Jay, who's very close with Brian and myself, contacted you, and I believe you, Rumble Johnson, Marcus Davis, and I think Waylon Lowe were paid $500 to do an appearance. And if we did seminar,
I did not. I never once said that I would come there for anything less than $1,000. And that was the agreement I had with Brian, with Jay Pellegrino before I got on the plane. And Brian, he agreed to it when I was there.
Okay.
So it was $1,000 that it was $1,000 that I agreed to and was promised.
Okay. To be honest, Kevin, if I ever made a promise saying I would pay you $1,000 if we talked, I would not hesitate. And even when I talked to your wife, and I want you to know this, I never said anything disrespectful to her.
I remember laying in the bed with my wife, and you said, listen, lady, you got to stop calling me. If you call me again, I'm going to call the police that you're harassing me. And I'm sitting there going, what the fuck? What in the world? Like, you're making it seem like she did something to her. What?
Well, because, Kevin, she called me multiple times, and I don't know if you heard the messages she left. She called me a little pussy, a faggot. And
she might have been mad. She might have just been angry, but you know why? Because my son, who was 17 months old and a big, big boy, I mean, he's the future of MMA for sure. And my son,
he's a beautiful baby.
Now I'm gonna say this. I never even knew who Matt Riddle was, because I don't even talk shit to anybody. There's only one person on this planet that I want to fight, and I'll fight him for free, and that's Tito Ortiz. I've said this all my life. So I'm sitting here on the phone. And my wife is saying, well, let me talk to him, Kevin, because, at the time I had a fight coming up. She's like, you don't need to do this because, you're just going to be me. You're going to be you. You're going to get mad. I'm like, all right, baby, go ahead and handle it. The bottom line was, Matt, regardless of what happened with you, regardless of what happened with my wife, the bottom line was Jay Pellegrino and Brian both could attest to you if you'd have just asked them that they agreed to pay me $1,000. When I left Pennsylvania, I'm there doing more than I should have, talking to everybody in the audience, saying happy birthday to some girl who I just met. So I don't have a problem with that, but I go all out. I go out of my way whenever I go somewhere because that's the type of person I am. So when I called you and said, hey, I need to check or whatever, and you said, well, I got to check with my funds, I said, that's not my problem because I did have a check. I just lost the check or my son destroyed it or whatever. So, yeah, maybe that was my fault for letting my son get around it. But the bottom line is you told me when I talked to you that you weren't going to pay me.
Kevin,
I'll tell you, if I may for just a moment, Matt, if that's all right. Kevin, this is Dave the Butcher. We got introduced, but then I let you guys talk. And I wanted to say hello and welcome to the show first of all and foremost. It's a complete honor to be talking with you, sir.
Thank you, Butcher.
And, absolutely. And both of you guys are cool as fuck. I mean, I really, I just got a text from the owner of Elevation Training Mask. You know Casey Danford. Both of you have worked with him before, correct?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you guys used the training mask. He just told me he's got $1,000. He says, I got a stack to squash this right now. I love both these guys. And he just said that to me out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting it, so I figured I'd break in and say it, bro. So I'm just saying, you guys are both, misunderstanding, you guys are both awesome. Great fighters. I would never call you, I'll call you a gangster, but I ain't never going to call you over the hill, sir. You've got all my respect. And Matt's a good dude. I really like his career as well. And I just wanted to pass along what Casey said.
Again, I'm not that kind of guy. The guy that I used to be, I look for the opportunity to fight anybody, anywhere, and I didn't even need a ring to do it. That's not my style no more. When I moved to Vegas, I moved to Vegas to become a better person. So anyone and everyone out there that likes to tweet and talk shit, bitches, get a fucking life. I do this for a living.
I couldn't agree more with that. I could not agree more with that.
So I don't pay attention to Matt Riddle's fans that calls me or sends me tweets and tells me I'm nobody, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't bother me. But what bothers me is when people constantly throw it in my face that someone said they kicked my ass. So I'm like, wait a minute, I don't even know who Matt Riddle is. I don't even know what you look like, I swear. I'm sitting here with my boy, and 20 minutes before you guys called, we had just pulled up Matt's picture. We were like, oh, my gosh. I'm like, fuck, Matt looks like my fucking son. I mean, remember, I'm an old guy. I've got a son that's 25.
Right.
So
right.
I'm like, this feeds my fire. Anybody out there that's a fighter knows. Anybody out there that's a fighter knows. If you're not fighting, then it's kind of like a teacher would know to students. You got no class. So I'm cool with it being squashed, because the one place where I like to go and train is Drysdale's, and I know Riddle trains there, and I don't want no beef at my sensei or my instructor's place. So I don't even show up, because I don't want any drama, because I just know the type of person I am.
Yeah,
so
I'm
if this is squash,
too, Kevin. I've been, to be completely honest, I've been waiting for you to walk through the door. I'm like, this motherfucker's probably gonna whoop my ass when he walks through. I got to be ready, you know. So,
exactly.
I appreciate all that. I hope the guys will roll together and everything. It'll be a good time, man. Seriously.
Well, hey,
Red,
this Big Perm here. I just wanted to cut in and thank both of you guys for taking the time to sit here and talk with us. And like Dave said, I mean, you guys are both cool as fuck to talk to. And
yes, sir.
Huge fans. I mean, I'm glad that
cool as hell to smoke with too.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing right now here in Michigan. Right now.
It just seemed like a big miscommunication. I'm glad it's cleared up.
Yes.
Yes, it is cleared up.
Go ahead,
I feel
sir.
so much better about it. I feel much better talking about it. I look forward to seeing that 1,000. I look forward to seeing that one stack, and I look forward to being able to train with Riddle at Drysdale's.
You guys are awesome,
dude. This is fucking awesome.
This is the best show I've ever been a part of. Now, Casey just said get Randleman's address, so you hit him up, because I ain't gonna get your address.
hey, I'm hugging my boy right now outside of fucking. I'm hugging my boy right outside PT's. Guys are walking. Shut the fuck up and keep going inside. But they laugh at me like, what? Want to sing Kumbaya right now?
That's awesome.
I'm so happy everything worked out, and Kevin, I'm going to apologize again, because Jay told me a whole completely different story, and so did Brian, and I'm glad we finally got to talk person to person. Hopefully, I believe that will drive sales when I get back, and honestly, and I've said it before, I looked up to you, and I still do look up to you, because you're a legend in the sport, man. You're one of those
Riddle.
You're one of the guys.
Actually, I look up to you, brother. Actually, I look up to you because you're taller than me.
Hey, before you go, Monster, Casey said it's Casey@trainingmass.com. Hit him up. And I also want to thank my producer for bringing you guys together. It was really tough. It's a hard thing to do, but we don't like to see shit going on. This is the best show ever. Thank you guys for being on Uncensored MMA.
You know why it was the best show ever? Because you had two of the fucking business's best talking with you.
Awesome. Besides that, two great human beings.
Fuck yeah.
Hey, Riddle, if you ever fight a wrestler and you ever need any kind of input whatsoever, I'm all yours whenever you need it.
Dude, I love to hear that. That makes me feel so good, dude. If you ever need anything from me, man, just let me know. I'm a phone call away.
Friendship is all I need.
That's all I need from you too, baby.
All right, then. Good luck.
All right, Kevin. We're going to let you go, Kevin. You take care, and you guys, you and the family, have a good night, brother.
All right.
Take care, Kevin.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Holy shit.
All right, Matt, you still there? Awesome. Yes,
wow.
it was.
Go ahead, Matt. Go ahead, talk, man.
That was good. I really appreciate you guys. That was the first time I actually got to talk to Kevin, and you guys, especially with the elevation match, that really helps me out, because I feel bad if somebody promised them money and I didn't know that, and they're telling me one thing, and then I think he's just asking me for more money. What am I supposed to do? And I got family and kids and stuff like that, so. I really appreciate everything, guys. Seriously, that was awesome. That was legit.
Oh, dude, you're more than welcome, brother. Shit, thanks for taking the time to talk to us and giving us the opportunity.
And now I get to train with Kevin Randleman. That's pretty badass.
Fucking right, man. Shit.
Hey, smoke with him too.
Hey.
That's right, baby. I can't wait.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You'll have to come over for a barbecue or something.
That's
down, man.
Fucking sweet. Well, listen, Matt. We just got a couple more minutes left with you tonight. I know you're busy packing and getting ready to get out of here. Well, we'll let Dave combust over there. I just want to know if you had any last words for the fans that are listening, any shout outs or anything you want to throw out there before you take off and head north.
Yeah, guys, all the fans out there, you guys hear these beefs and stuff like that, and most of the time it's just one says something, the other says something, and nobody ever gets to, say what they really want to say to each other. And tonight, finally, it was resolved completely when we finally talked to each other. Also, you guys got to realize you can't just be keyboard warriors, This is my life, It's not just some random shit. Kevin Randleman was seriously going to fucking jump me in the streets of Vegas. So it's like, people should really watch what they fucking type on the internet. So other than that, I love the fans, just mind where you step, Don't fucking start writing shit about what you don't know, and then all of a sudden people are... The things, I felt bad for Kevin because right after all that shit got released, people were just writing the nastiest things about him and his wife and stuff, and I was like, that's ridiculous. How are you going to do that, But, that's what got him fired up, and now that's what it is, But I'm glad it's
all over now.
Yep, all over with.
It's awesome. I'm stoked. Kevin Randleman, my friend.
Casey's going to send him a stat.
Nice.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you, Casey Danford, for helping out.
Send us a stat, Casey.
I just, again, want to say thanks to you, Matt, for taking the time tonight. We wish you all the best of luck. And on November 17th, you can count on all of us here in the Midwest rooting you on and cheering for a victory, brother.
Kick his ass up in Canada.
Yeah, and I'll tell you guys, get ready because it's going to be bloody. I guarantee it. It's going to be a nasty one.
Fucking right. That's what we love.
That's what I love.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks again, Matt. You have a great night, homie.
You too, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yep, later, home.
You're welcome, brother.
Later.
All right.
All in a day's work, huh?
Yeah, boy.
Holy shit!
I honestly wasn't sure how that would go and how that would turn out. And I didn't know until like about a half hour before showtime that we were going to be able to bring Kevin on. I knew Matt was down to do it. We weren't sure about Kevin, but again, I want to thank Kevin for taking the time to come out, onto the show tonight. And usually when there's beefs like that, man, like Matt said, it's usually a miscommunication. And this was the first time that they actually had a chance to talk to each other. And, in less than 10 minutes time, they had it squashed and everything's taken care of. And now Matt's going to get some world-class wrestling training, whenever he needs it.
Yeah, world-class MMA training too, man. I'll tell you what, I can feel this in my chakras right now. We linked up some things, and it is true human happiness that we did. And I want to thank Chris Maltzberger. He put that shit together. He had to weather the storm because talking these guys into this wasn't no easy task. And all I do is get in my Chevy and talk.
Me too. I sit on my couch, kick back with a pipe and a pop, and talk.
Absolutely.